Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We got to say, always pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in, and always remember, God is in control. As we continue to cover the massive relief and recovery effort that's going on down there in Jamaica, I'm telling you, it is a sight to see. And tonight we have a young gentleman. I call him a young gentleman, a great friend of mine. He's like family. And he's here tonight. That's Pastor Bruce Polson. And we want to welcome him right here on Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. Welcome. Welcome, Pastor. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm
Wonderful,
doing
wonderful.
okay, George.
It's good to
Good
have
to be
you.
alive.
Oh, yes, we got to give God thanks for that.
Such a time.
Uh, it's testing times, I call it.
Yeah, man.
And
Testing times indeed.
I've
But thank
seen
God.
that we spoke earlier about you passing, experiencing the category 5. Your family's okay, you told me. Your mom is all right, grandchildren, children. And we say thank God for that. And did you sustain any damages from the hurricane?
Nothing significant. Had a few branches down. A tree in the yard, an apple tree is down, but minor matters compared.
Mine. Well, we can smile and say thank God for that because you're in the eastern section of the island. First of all, let me have you introduce yourself formally to my audience, and this is a global audience. So, and tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive into the experience of going through across the country to see the devastation. Go ahead, Pastor.
Well, my name is Bruce Polson. I
And
am
I
a
must pause there. Hold on a second. We're forgetting something. I need an opening prayer of healing or from the pastor. Please,
yeah,
sir.
man. Well, Psalm 100 says, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing." This tonight we acknowledge God as the one who made us. Psalm 100 says, "It is he that made us. We didn't make ourselves." Almighty God, you're the one who created us, and you put us here on this earth. And you said we should take care of it, guard it, and treat it well as a part of our worship to you, the living God. And so as we come to tonight to talk about what transpired in one small corner, we acknowledge that as mighty and as powerful as a storm that we experienced was, we acknowledge that you, O God, are the great and awesome God, and everything is subject to you. So we come, we recognize you as God, and we magnify the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. And we commit this time into your hands, and we say, we give thanks for the life that you've given us. And we give thanks for what lies ahead, especially as we look on how we can help our fellow human beings, and in particular, our fellow Jamaicans, this beautiful island. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Bruce Polson. So we can continue with your introduction of yourselves so that my audience can know who you are, and we can move on from there. Continue, sir.
Yes, I'm a pastor. in Kingston, Jamaica. One of I'm one of the pastors of a church in Papine, in St. Andrew. Papine is when you're heading up into the hills. You want to go up to the Blue Mountain Hills. You're gonna pass through Papine and make your way. And so we're located in Papine, kind of in the university belt, near to the university hospital, on the backside of the College of Arts, Science and Technology. We call it UTech now, University of Technology. And I am a grandfather of three, and a father of three, and grandfather of three. So I am
Tell, yes, go ahead.
happy to be alive and giving
And
God
your mother is still alive,
my
and
mom,
that's a
older,
beautiful thing.
almost 95-year-old mom is still alive.
And God bless her heart. And she's a strong woman. I hope you live longer than her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Portland
Yes.
girl, man.
Oh yes. The good food of Portland. I tell you. You know, tell me about your schooling. Where did you grow up? You know, did you grow up in the Kingston area, in the country,
Grew up
Portland?
in
How? Mhm.
grew up, born and bred, raised in Kingston, and grew up in the eastern and central Kingston area. Went to high school, Kingston College. Um,
All right, Casey boy.
yeah, man, graduate of was then cast now UTech, and a graduate of University of the West Indies, and a graduate of the Caribbean Graduate School of Theology. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, wonderful, wonderful. So tell me how many years was have you been in the church as a pastor, or have you been following the faith in the theological realm?
Well, I've been a Christian since age 14. I had an encounter with God when I was in high school. Um, and I remember at the time, after wrestling with it for a few weeks, just saying to God, okay, boss, have your way. And that was the biggest and most powerful change in my life. Um, and then I, you know, was heavily involved in church life from a pretty young age. And I served in this church that I now serve in. I served as a deacon for about 15 years or so. And then I went to Bible school, did a master's in theology, and then I was ordained as a pastor in almost 19 plus years ago, 2006.
Okay, wonderful. You know, so let's kind of talk about the hurricane a little bit or a lot. Now you've been through that Category 5 hurricane, and that was an experience in itself because the island it was the first time. This is historical, so anyone living in this day and age and has passed through a Category 5, they can say, you know, they can give the experiences. However, the eastern section of the island did not get it as much as the western end, and you and I believe the church, and you can elaborate on that for me. traveled to give aid to those who are mostly in need. Can you talk about that from the inception, when it came together? How many people went there? Where did you go, and so on? What did you see? Can, give me a bird's eye view of what you experienced.
Well, first let me say when we when we first heard of what became known as Hurricane Melissa, it was um, a massive tropical depression. A lot of rain was predicted, and then the weather people start to say, "We're watching this. It's not serious. This can develop." And then we heard the different models and how bad it could be, and the news got progressively worse. And this storm, this hurricane, from the time it became a storm to when it actually landed in Jamaica was a little over a week and a half maybe. And we kept hearing, this is gonna be bad. This is going to be bad. And I mentioned that to say you can, normally Jamaicans are, we pay attention, but not too much. You ask a Jamaican and say, yeah, man, go bless. Um, but as the news came, more and more we realized that this thing was gonna hit and it was going to be bad. And so a lot of prayers going up, and it's just it being dragged out for so long. It's important to understand, I think, in for the future, that it really produced a lot of trauma because people became anxious, and by the weekend, Melissa landed Tuesday night. But by the weekend, we were feeling the effects of the outer bands, and if you could see people getting anxious. You go into the store and it couldn't get bread; it was gone. Um, and the stores were being emptied. Um, so it was by the weekend, the stress had really kicked in. Everybody knew that this is gonna hit, and the storm, we're told initially, was gonna cross the country centrally, kind of through the middle, literally through the middle of the country, from south to north. And what that would have meant is that pretty much hardly anywhere would have been spared, because the island is about 50 miles at its the longest. From south to north, it's about 50 miles. Um, and based on the size of the storm, it would basically mean that there wouldn't be anywhere spared. So that kind of mental anxiety and stress started to build up. But as the days went on, this storm just started to drift further west, drifting. And a lot of people were saying, yes, keep going, Melissa, keep going. But then it eventually it basically landed somewhere in the kind of western part of St. Elizabeth. So, so that's the no, that is very bad. It is very bad. The truth though is that the fact that the further west it went took it away from eastern, no, the section of the country with the highest population density is
Right. Hmm.
St. Catherine and um, Kingston and St. Andrew. And so if that had hit Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine, you know, and
Yes, because it's the biggest pocket of people.
yeah,
You're
it's
talking
bulk
two
of the
two
population.
plus million people between
Yeah,
St. Catherine and Kingston, and God spared that area for a reason.
yeah,
Because that devastation. I remember Hurricane Gilbert coming through Kingston and
yeah, man.
leveling it, and Portmore, Kingston, St. Catherine, all levels,
Yeah,
Clarendon, all the way to Clarendon, and further on Manchester, it was wide. And
yeah,
to see that this drifted a lot west to save that larger population, um, there was devastation, but not as great as out west.
yeah.
And
It's,
it was spared. I'm telling you, we got to give God thanks. Um,
yeah.
so
The speed, the fact that it wasn't going, it didn't, it was crawling,
Oh yeah,
literally crawling.
3 to 5 miles an hour.
Yeah,
It took its
it was
time.
crawling.
You know,
And
the difference between this and Hurricane Gilbert is that the Hurricane Gilbert moved quickly, but this
yeah,
spent days meandering around the west there and heading up north of the country, and it just
yeah,
tore up. And I said there's a lot of damages we're not seeing, especially in the hills of Jamaica,
yeah,
where places are still cut off from the main body of Jamaica. You can't move around. There's so much debris that has blocked and flooding up on the hills. So continue, Dr. Polson.
yeah. So it's the 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 damage. You know, you mentioned Hurricane Gilbert. I was there here. I went through that. Um, this one, Gilbert was kind of weakened because it had to go through the highest points in the island, which I think was one of the things that weakened it. This one just kind of skipped the mountains and headed to the yeah, there are hills in St. Elizabeth is hilly and St. James is hilly, but it's it was the shorter parts, a shorter path, and wow, we had already been having a lot of rain since August, so we've been having about 2 months of heavy rains, constant rain. So the soil was already saturated. So the storm hit, and the devastation that followed, and the biggest part was the authorities trying to clear a path so that we can get through to the various parishes. The parishes that were hit very hard by the storm, parts of Manchester, moving.
While you're talking, I wanted to share just an early clip after the hurricane, what certain sections look like. This was a video that was sent out by Kareem's Quest. And what you can go ahead and talk there, but I just wanted to sadly show this on the screen while we're talking. So you can get a visual of a little bit of the a small area of what was going on back then. But continue.
Yeah, it, this is the thing. We when you go look up in the hills, as you move to the hills on the western side, it was been stripped bare, trees broken like twigs. Um, the light poles was dragged down, many snapped in two. Um, you know, it's just devastation. Houses. Um, I remember our team. We took a team from church. We went down to an area in St. Elizabeth. Um, it's just above one of our famous spots. Persons who might have heard of the Whitehead's Falls, a famous spot. This is
Yes.
kept just
Hmm.
above Whitehead's Falls. And if you follow the road all through this area, you could go into Montego Bay. It was a strip bare, and you see a lot of houses and businesses just flattened, destroyed. Man, it's bad. It's really um, churches, many churches destroyed. Various levels of destruction.
A lot of schools also have been
Schools,
flattened and
schools flattened. Um, it's just um, it really is really sad, very sad.
tell me, while you were going across the country, um, what struck you most about the people in those devastated areas? Give us a kind of mental picture of the temperature going through with these families that have lost or been devastated or disenfranchised or
Well, the first thing we saw before we went through, because we went um, into St. Elizabeth yesterday, which is a little over a week after the storm hit. When we were going down, we didn't stop and talk to a lot of people. You could see people trying to do repairs, to start out their lives. But in some of the interviews on national television, it's what you get is the, the sense of disbelief. Like, um, just what are we gonna do next? Um, it's just devastation and a sense of it's a mixture of things. Um, I think persons who are in the rural areas who are away from the towns, maybe they probably live lives a bit more simply. Um, but when you look and you see the devastation, what we saw people trying their best to see, okay, what we're gonna do to repair this. But what we saw also was once you get past Manchester, you're going to St. Elizabeth, a lot of standing water, just a lot
right.
of land underwater. Um, and if you didn't know what had happened, you would probably think, oh, this is like swampland. So but it's not. It's just so much water, so much rain, and um, that's the standing water is you're gonna as it recedes, a lot of carcasses, animal carcasses will surface, um, and I'm still not sure. We're still not sure. The last thing we'd heard was that that accounted for over 40 dead people. But um, because a lot of the communities had been marooned, because the trees were torn down, so the pathway into um, several communities is just cut off. So we're gradually getting a sense of the human cost, the cost of human life, and that is something which we're getting. So what has been happening on the ground though is that a lot of people from Kingston, from the side of the island that wasn't badly hit, have been heading into Western Jamaica to go and find their relatives. The telecommunications they're just down. Um, when we went down to St. Elizabeth yesterday, once we got to about some into St. Elizabeth, we couldn't communicate. Basically couldn't communicate by cell phone. We just lost service. So that has made it very difficult to contact relatives and family. And so a lot of people have actually just braved it and gone down. Um, it's that is how some of the stories have come up.
Right.
Um,
It is amazing that you know that so many people are still um pouring in to um lend a hand, and those on the ground are still holding strong in terms of keeping the faith, as people come in to help like yourselves and other aid workers and so on. They're still upbeat even though they've lost everything. I'm wondering now, and I'm looking at, moving forward. It's going to take a long time to get things back to normal. And I was looking at a couple of things where, most of these houses are lost their roof or flattened. They're no longer there. And I was looking at a proposal, and I did one of my podcasts. We were talking about these container homes, which are pretty much already outfitted. They have everything in them. These things, you just build a slab and you drop it, and you have a home with a kitchen, bathroom, everything, windows, doors, you name it. And they just rolled them out recently in Jamaica, and I saw where there's a proposal that came up to, and I want to add this to the stage so others can see it. This was a Jamaica Gleaner article: container homes proposed as a quick fix for hurricane homelessness, and I think that's a brilliant idea. Um, the cost of it, I think, if you buy in bulk, maybe there could be a deal done by the government to um, quickly move people back into homes rather than waiting um, over the years, and something can be worked out because it's a lot of homes. That's a lot of material, and it ain't cheap to rebuild, as people have lost everything. And I remember the one bedroom containers, they were about 1.9 million, and the two bedroom was 2.9 million, if I remember right. You can go, all those who are watching, you can go back to my previous podcast. You can see it, and I'll on Monday I'm gonna send, or tomorrow I'll recap on those videos of those containers out in St. Thomas. As you get out of Harbor View, it's not too far from there going into St. Thomas. That location is, but I think this is a, a a great idea. I don't know how you see it, Pastor Polson. From what you've witnessed down in the West and in the devastated areas, I believe this is a quick fix. You build a slab and you drop them on, and that's it. You have a hurricane-proof home, and they can rebuild their around it or repair their own homes. But this is I think, is a great idea. What do you think?
Well, um, the technical people, the technical guys can decide. The terrain, I think, is going to be a determining factor.
Right.
So the more even terrain can deal with these things. Um, the tricky part is as you move inwards into the rural area, the hillside. That is a solution is going to be needed for places like that where people they tend to build to match the terrain. Um, um, and things that's going to be key to address connection to sewage and water supply. So those things, it may be, I mean, when I look on some of the construction that's passed for housing, when you look on what um, the storm did, we have a lot of people who use wooden structures with zinc roofing, and it was just like child's play for the storm. Um,
Oh yeah,
so
those places have been
yeah,
demolished.
that's flattened. Um, and as I went through, as the group of us went through yesterday, I remember I had to be asking one of our team members who was from that area where we went to. I kept trying, were these abandoned buildings or people were living? He said no, there were homes and business places, and they were, you know, actively so. Because up until Melissa, they were. But I mean, some of the things you have the footage you will see is that you would find it hard to believe that that was actually a home. We're actually living there, but that's true. Um, so I hear the, the Prime Minister talking about looking on how we build. There's talk about moving the utilities infrastructure underground. Um, but these are longer term considerations. But it does it is for us an opportunity to build like a country that is in a hurricane zone.
I think the challenge is when I look at the topography of the land. You have a lot of plains out there west, and the Peja Plains, the Georges Plains, and so on. I think the drainage system,
Mhm.
how you channel the water, has to be looked at a lot better. The building codes have to be looked at also, according to the Prime Minister. And there's a lot more infrastructure that has to go in terms of sewage and so on. Where electricity is concerned, I think JPS has a handle on it, but it needs to be looked at. It has to be revolutionized in terms of redundancies in phases. You know what I mean? So you can even bypass a phase if something happen in the middle, you can get around it and get power, and you can shut down phases as you go along, depending on what disasters you're facing or what adverse events are happening. So there's a lot to be desired in terms of the how things are looked at moving forward. I think that looking at the building codes, um, that is something that needs special attention because people tend to just build. And I know there's an initiative for plans that were in place, I think by the either this administration or the current, the previous one. They started that if you're building, you have to get a plan, and I think that was a great idea. But the codes needs to be followed. I'm looking at a couple of things here. Um, while you were out west, I was looking at this video, and I'm going to bring it to the stage.
I tell you the
About
truth, I'm
west.
traumatized. Much more the children. Can you
Let's-
imagine? I've never seen anything like this in my life. And in the community that I live, all the buildings are flat. It's devastating. We have run out of food now, and we honestly don't have none.
The supplies that we need, we can't get them. Tin food are limited and stuff like that. So that's why we come to the shelter to see if we can grab some stuff.
We've basically had about 90% of the people that live in Savlamar that have lost their homes. The remaining 10%, the top is gone. So Jem is here and we're happy to have you and we welcome you back. And the people are very happy. We just want to say thank you.
I'm feeling good, great things, because they try to help in Jamaica, especially Savlamar and Westmoreland. So I like that.
We have a lot of persons right now homeless, roofless. We need some canvas, we need extra water, especially solar fans for the baby and solar lights. We would really appreciate it, and food right through.
And I tell the people all the time, it's only when you come and see what is happening, you understand how serious and critical the situation is. It's a life-saving mission you're doing right now, and we really are happy to see the impact you're having on the lives of so many people right here in Westmoreland and in Jamaica and up.
So, Pastor Polson, you are on the ground and you're seeing what they're talking about. And I was talking on my podcast last night that this is only the first phase, because this has to continue, because a lot of people are out of jobs because the workplaces no longer exist. And they have no homes. The schools are down. And until that is rebuilt, then the feeding program has to continue, that relief aid has to continue to go in, and also that support for these people who have lost everything has to continue. So while you were going through and you were meeting these people as you go along, tell me, was it a case where you saw for the areas that you've been, that they're being adequately serviced in terms of relief?
George, to be honest, I don't know what we consider adequate relief at all.
At least the basics, food and water.
Right. One thing I can tell you is that we, even before our team went down yesterday, we had a team that went down to Montego Bay on the weekend, which was a couple, 3 days or so after the storm hit, and a lot of church groups have been sending teams into the areas, and personally, family members have been just going in. So how do I put it? I would say that the church groups and the other groups, like the voluntary groups, are probably ahead of the government in this regard, because they have just said, listen, we don't have time to visit. People need food, they need clothing, they need temporary shelter. I mean, we carried down a lot of tarpaulins. There is a real serious need for that kind of thing, tarpaulins. But the place where we went to, interestingly, is a farming community. And one of the sentiments is that, listen, we need to get back on our feet because they still have stuff in the ground. A lot of the vegetation was destroyed. That's true, but they have stuff in the ground that can carry them for a few weeks.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But they need to start tilling, replanting, so that in another 6-7 months, because we haven't yet, although the storm hit the western part of the island, and thank God the eastern part would have been, I mean, devastated in terms of the cost of human life. But bear in mind that the western end is our breadbasket.
Oh yes, definitely so.
The whole country in another few weeks will start to see the severe shortages of food products. We're gonna see it, feel it. But at least if you can settle the issue of your home, a place that you can rest your head, then
right.
You have a base and you can function.
We also look at the fact that there's a biohazard going on out there as well, and I think I'm going to touch into organizing so there's no cross contamination, or there should be a containing of that area. However, while you were traversing, here's I want to bring a video up of some of the things that are swirling around in social media, and I want to address that with you in a moment. Let's listen to this. Here we go. Let's get that on the stage. Okay, and I'm trying to get that on my screen here. It's not cooperating. Okay, let's see. Hopefully we can get this up. Oh, here we go. I gotta take this down first. Here we go. Now we can get it there. All right, so let's hear what's going on.
Listen to what this police officer is saying about traveling out into these areas to give out donations. Only listen to what the officer has said. Listen this.
Good morning, UCC. I would have extended the invitation to go to St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland today. I'm still on the highway coming back, right? Do not go down there if you don't have to, or if you don't have a security. Don't get up in a group of women, or do not go down there unless you are going to somebody directly. All right, and do not go down there for the whole photo shoot business. This is serious business we're dealing with. I have never seen this in my life before. A movie alone, we see these things in you're passing, and people, children are shooting out their hands and say, please, because of water, I'm hungry, please, me, I beg you. And these people are people, we couldn't even drive by, but we have to drive past some of these people. It is not for the weak of heart. I will not encourage you guys to go down there on your own. Right? If you want to get stuff and give it to the men for them to bring down there. So this is also for the women as well. Not saying that women are needed, but we don't think we need no women down there at this point. All right? Get the things them ladies and get the man there, because we also need people to clean out the roadway. Don't get stink, right? Like the lot of dead animals, you know, if people that them dead things about down there stink. And it's going to be a very traumatic experience for you guys. So please do not go down there. I tell you, it's crazy. It is really crazy. It's a good thing I was in my uniform and I was escorted by my fellow soldiers and police officers. Alright, else I would have still been down there stuck in traffic and all that. Persons are robbing persons, right? Taking away the things out of the vehicle. If you stop people just running, jump out, look out the glass and go out the things them. It is very serious. Alright, so do not think this is a joke thing. It is very, very, very dangerous and serious down that side. So take it as we tell. Alright, bless.
So, Doctor, let me stop the.
Not Dr.
Let me get that.
Well, what a lot of persons may not realize that the news changes rapidly. It's been 1 week and 3 days since Hurricane Melissa hit. The realities on the ground. What is clear is this widespread devastation. That is clear. What was mentioned in the video is true. There have been warnings because it seems like it is criminal elements coming from outside the communities who are going down and trying to exploit, as well as you have persons within communities who are trying to criminal behavior, trying to benefit themselves at the expense of others. But the realities keep changing because the people have pathways have been made all the way to Westmoreland. So you still have marooned communities, but pathways have been made and are being made. And just today, I was just hearing on the news, the police in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland have gotten reinforcements. Even when we went down as a team yesterday, we had a couple of officers with us. Just to, but one of the key things is like we knew, for example, that if you're gonna go down there, you go in the morning and you get back before that. Because remember, there's no electricity.
Right.
So some of the business places have generators, and when we got down there to Santa Cruz, I remember you could see there was or La Covia, there's gas station. There was a gas station pumping gas. So things are changing because people, our country, there is a level of resilience. That's true. And
but did you see any checkpoints going into the yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. So there's control at least at some points. They're making sure that there's some level of control until the utilities get back on the line. I wanted to show you another video. And it's strange that you say there are checkpoints. So there's organization going on there. But this is something that is also swirling around on social media as if there's chaos. I don't know. Let's comment on this after the video. Let's bring this on the stage. Here we go. Let's share this.
No, I don't look like what I've been through. Trust me. I had was to get myself into Kingston, into Spanish Town. We kind of just come pull myself together and revamp because I was losing myself. I was losing my sanity. And I just came up into Spanish Town yesterday, Wednesday. It's Thursday now to come get some food kind, etc. One chubby a selfie, $300. One pack soup, $500. Flow, I don't know if you know this, but some parts in the Western Hemisphere, a phone line alone a pick up, and your representatives are capitalizing off of this, and they are selling a chip for $3,500. Now, with the limited time that I have, because I'm about to skip out of Spanish Town and go get certain things done, and when I go back into the Western Hemisphere, my phone is not going to be up and running. But this is my few cents that I'm going to leave here. One of the things, since I've seen the news, since everything, last night was the first I saw the news. One place specifically I'm going to use as an example is going to close their house, their shelter because of lack of water, etc., etc. That is Petersfield High, right? That is one. Two, the people in the inland now get no food. People on the inland are not getting any food. One thing that the government say, me not getting a government business, but one of the things that the government says, which I don't agree with, it is complete fuckery. Wanna say with me? Just
Hold on a second. That was, I should have blurped that out.
middleman want to liaison with the government facilities, the government entities cannot do this by themselves. They do not know community, they don't know inland. They have to liaison, form a committee with grown persons, work with these people, form subcommittees so these people know report directly to the councillor or directly to the MP. So you want to have eyes and want to have ears in each community. I am more than willing to help. I'm already doing what I can do. I'm already volunteering, doing stuff. I'm already doing it. I'm already on the ground. If you don't need my help, reach out to me.
So this is a frustrated citizen of the country of Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I must apologize for the language. I should have blurred that out. I didn't have time. I ran in and then I didn't remember that I didn't blur that out of the video. And my apologies, Pastor,
Man.
for that.
Yeah.
However, the frustration runs deep, and I've been crying for peace, just calm, because things take time to fall in place. It's fairly fresh. It's a Category 5. We've never seen that before, and this devastation is immense, and it's far-reaching and wide. So it takes a while to get services up and running, processes up and running. Things will get back to normal, but we have to be patient and we have to work together in one unity. So tell me, are you, I know since this video was made, there has been Starlink being proliferated in the areas that are down with communication. So JDF has been doing that. And also the aid workers who have come into the island, like the US and El Salvadorian and also others, and locally and so on. Tell me, are you seeing any disorganization with the relief effort when you were, crossing the island there? Your video is frozen.
It's up until a few days ago, the government was taking a lot of flack because what that young lady spoke of was a criticism leveled at the government, where it almost felt like they were caught with pants down. And yes, we know that this is, nobody has ever gone through this. Ireland has never gone through this before. A situation as bad as this, maybe except wartime, I don't know. But the sense you got was that the government was slow to bring together a multi-pronged approach, bringing civil society, churches, the opposition party, just bringing everybody together and saying, listen, I think in a previous convo I said to you, George, that from maybe Wednesday afternoon after the storm, this should have been a top priority meeting at Jamaica House or something. The reality is that, thank God, we have had the fact that people have been going in. The warning is that you heard was relevant. It is better to go in as groups. And like I said, you go in the morning and you're out restrict your activities to daylight. And but churches, listen, this one.
We gotta wrap it up in 5 minutes, Dr. Polson. I have two more
Okay.
videos to go, but continue.
Yeah, I was saying that churches are some of the greatest assets in this regard because churches are widespread. They say we have more churches per square mile than any other country. The churches have their feet on the ground, and churches have been very active. Church organizations have been very active. We know that the Samaritan's Purse that's a Billy Graham legacy organization run by his son Franklin Graham. They came in. They have set up a field hospital in St. Elizabeth. A really nice thing, really great, and resources have been coming in. So it's changing gradually. What we need to make sure that the government strengthens the protection of the citizens. That's going to be key. Because even after we go in and carry aid for the day in a charge, when we leave, people have to hunker down in their communities in the night, dark, under really terrible conditions. So they need to be protected, and they need food and shelter, temporary shelter. So these things, it is ongoing, and it is happening slowly but steadily. And people are basically saying, we're not waiting on the government. You can't.
The thing is, I understand the haste there, but I do believe in the short run here, after the hurricane and so on, the relief effort has been great, but I think it has to be organized moving forward. And my other guest is waiting. That's my nephew, Ashadi. We'll be with you in 5 minutes, Ashadi. So he's in the back room waiting. So I do believe that they need to now, make quadrants, or just making areas that they have to, I'd say, organize it in such a way that it is protected, it's policed, and it's controlled. Because these people who are in harm's way, because now it's a biohazard zone with all the standing water, the mosquitoes, the dead animals, that can become a biohazard. So I think it should be controlled now moving forward, that you have time to assess what's going on. I'm sure I've been listening to Minister Vaz, I've listened to the Prime Minister, and I know they're getting it together. You know what I mean? So I was surprised that the young lady was talking about certain people are not getting food. I believe it's difficult to get to some areas, so they have to take helicopters in, especially in the hills. You got to have a place to land. And also you have to assess what's going on, and the nighttime is no good because it's darkness. But look at this video. I'm going to play two more videos. I have about 2 minutes to go, and then I need you to close and tell us what you think is deficient, and and I want you to give a closing prayer as well. So quickly, let's take a couple of seconds of these videos. Here we go.
A turn. Right, we're near to school. Before school.
I dare you to let me build
let's get
a
this off
completely
this
free
screen.
e-commerce.
Here we go, and continue. Those were two Chinook helicopters, U.S. helicopters that carry a lot of food. So they delivered over 50,000 pounds when this was sent out. And there's a lot more going on. So let's check out the other video of also some relief that's going on down there. And this is amazing what's going on, the magnitude of what is going on in terms of relief, and those are adding, like yourself, Pastor Polson. It is amazing. Let's bring that on here. So here we go. This is the other video, and then we're going to close this segment. Here we go. Let's bring that on stage right now. Okay, and
How much pound of rice is you say? 250 pound of rice, 75 pound of rice. Each pot, we do 8 pot today. And so the yield we get off of one pot is 2,000, so 2,000 persons. One pot is for 2,000 persons. So we can do max 2,000 times. So 8 one of them pot here, 2,000 people eat out of the pot here. And that has 700 pound a stew chicken in another pot there. We cook 4 of that today.
And as you can see, it's a massive response. Pastor, tell me, how do you see it moving forward? Is it looking good, optimistic? You think it's gonna, people are getting hope? Are they being addressed?
That is my thinking. I believe that it's gonna get better in the short term. I think I see persons being the misery will be diminished somewhat because help is coming in from the different national and international organizations, churches, church groups, voluntary services, organizations, private sector, the army, JCF. So it's happening, and it is the key thing that must be done through all of this is hope. Is building hope, because once people lose hope, that's the problem. I mean, when we got to where we were in St. Elizabeth, we were told we were the first group to get there. But that being said, people were very appreciative, and it strengthens them because people coming from far, and so when they see help coming in from nationally and internationally from far and wide, it helps to inspire people to know that, listen, as bad as it is today, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, And I think that is
wonderful. Dr. Polson, we're out of time. And I must say thank you, Dr. Polson, for Pastor Polson for being here. No, Pastor, sorry. I keep saying doctor because I know a Dr. Polson. But I must say thank you. I need a closing prayer for you for this segment. I would say thank you for being here, and I kept you from your sleep with the family, and I really appreciate it. And I say hello to your mom. She's close to my heart, and the rest of your family. And you're close to me. You're like a brother. So can you give a closing prayer for this segment? Because we're going to move into the next segment, and we'd like you to close this one out. Please, final words and a prayer.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks, George. Thanks for keeping the focus on, keeping Jamaica in the focus, so that it's all about helping the people to get back on our feet. And thanks for doing that. And so my prayer, Almighty God, is that
before you get there, Pastor Polson, I want to give us a connection to you. How can they reach you? Someone reach you if they need you to help those or their family members, or if they want to donate to your church, please give that information.
All right. So we can be reached. What I could do is give you my contact information, so you can.
And I'll post it up. Yeah.
Right. And we can help to connect you with people who are active in the various areas of the country that can make a difference. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. That's beautiful, Pastor Polson. So, closing prayers, please, sir.
Yes. Yes. May the God of all hope strengthen and encourage the hearts of those in our nation who have suffered through the storm. May the hearts of your listeners, those who view this and hear this, may their hearts be stirred, not just to be amazed at the storm, but to be moved to make positive contributions in different ways to help to rebuild our beautiful country. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Polson. It was a pleasure having you, and you will be back. I'm telling you, there's got to be a part 2. And we say, please continue to donate to Jamaica. And if you want to reach out to Pastor Polson, I will get his number up here for you tomorrow, and all his information. If you want to donate to his church, he's doing a wonderful job. They went out on missions to see the people in the country. They prayed for them. They gave them encouragement. And this is one of the hardest working pastors in Jamaica. And he is here for you and for the people who are suffering. And he's there. He's lending his time and his efforts to make sure that we comfort those who have been devastated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Pastor Polson. It was great having you. And we're gonna say thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have now the second segment with DJ Asher D to thrill you and to build your spirits in a different way. The reggae music, and he's in Europe right now. He just got up, and he's fresh. It's early in the morning there in London, England, and he's here for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we got one DJ Asher D on the Passion Radio UK is ready for you. Are you ready? You heard it from Pastor Polson. He prayed for us. He gave the closing prayer, and he's there for each and every one. DJ Asher D is also doing a lot to stir up the spirits and also to give relief to Jamaica. And we're here for that. This is Not Rap Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. As we welcome DJ Asher D.
Yeah.
Welcome. Early morning, boss.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Every time. How you feeling?
Tired, but grateful. Tired,
Yes.
but grateful.
Tell me how Mama and the rest of the family, our family down there in Seer, how have you heard from them?
Yes, they're doing
Wonderful.
well, in terms of in spirit as well, because, not because they haven't been affected bad, then their thoughts and well-being goes over to other people who has. So I heard from them, continuous hearing from them, and it's been good, and they're trying to move around, helping other people who are less, who are affected.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a beautiful thing. I heard that the electricity, Seer got back its electricity last night, and that's a beautiful thing. The JPS, JDF, JCF, the government is doing a wonderful job. I must commend them. Given the circumstances and the magnitude of the devastation, everybody's working. The aid workers from both the aid from England, US, Canada, all around, El Salvador, Barbados, the rest of the Caribbean. It's coming in. Aid workers are there, recovery workers, and the people of Jamaica are responding. And we say unity is what we ask each and every one to help one, those who cannot help themselves. Keep the aid coming, because it's going to take years, months to come to some sort of normalcy, but years to come to really recover. And throughout all that time, we're going to need patience and perseverance and unity. Tell me what you have to say to the people.
As you talk about patience, unity, my mind just reflect back on the back of the Jamaican currency when it says out of many one people. And this is where everything just lies now, that the world can see that Jamaica is really made up of out of many one people. So it's a great look to know that everyone's chipping in different races. No one sees race colors at the moment, because Jamaica motto is out of many one people, and it's a great look. You find people donating from all over. Everyone's been affected by it. In terms of, I've been to Jamaica once. I've been on my honeymoon. I've been there. I know this gentleman who was supposed to travel, I think the 18th of November, it's cancelled. He said he's going somewhere else, but he's going back next year, just to show you how important Jamaica is to a lot of people abroad. So it's a good look, and it's a hard step, but it's a great step in terms of prosperity and braveness for everyone. Especially, I like to see when you see clips and hear about it, people from the Kingston side of it. The people are not affected from that side of the island. Everyone's back into St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, St. James, that side, helping them. So it's a great look. And looking from the outside, looking in, we just have to give thanks that we are people of great heart, So it's a good look.
Awesome, DJ Ashley. And Reese, we respond to other chats. Big up to Reese 25. Just tell us what you want to respond to. I don't know the Indian person that you're talking about, but also plant-based man also sent in, Jamaicans in America are mocking Jamaicans who live on the island. I think that's unfair to say that. You can't draw a broad brush over that. Some people will be negative, some will be positive, and for the most part, it's being positive. I can say that. So big up the plant-based man every time. Welcome to the show. So DJ Ashley, tell me, how do you see the spirits there in England in terms of the response to the devastation in Jamaica? Are you hearing echoes in the street about relief and so on? Talk to me. What's you hearing? Tell me what's the main things you're hearing.
Before we say that as well, I just want to congratulate you on what you're doing as well, and make it a platform to let people see what's actually going on around the world. So big up yourself and Nara on promotion. Yeah, in the streets, where I wouldn't say in the streets, in terms of workplaces that are visited. Everyone's like, how's your family back in Jamaica? Because obviously they know that I'm Jamaican, which I'm proud of, and stuff. And everyone's like, how's family, how's friends? It's a great look. People saying, oh, where can we donate? Where can we do this? Where can we do that? And they're realizing they're finding different sections and different media outlets to do what they're doing. And there's a lot of things going on in terms of help for the people I know, contributing in terms of, most importantly, most people say, oh, we're praying for you, we're praying. So who cannot contribute financially are contributing by prayers and hope. So that is a good look. And you hear it in the street, and in terms of people saying what they're saying, and it's good. I was so sorry about the island, I've only been there a few months ago. I plan to go there next year. So it's a great look on that side of it, what they're doing, helping, both in prayer and financially and stuff.
So when are you planning to go down there?
Well, I'm looking to go back the back end of probably the first, sometime in December. I haven't made up, haven't got my ticket yet as such, but it's in plans for that time. You know what I mean? And we got some bits and pieces as well to send off as well for there, which we do on a yearly process as for the foundation. But I will be going down, and I will be utilizing my skills, what I mean, that God has given me to help out. I know that we
Yes,
got
you do a lot of construction, so that's a
yeah,
beautiful thing. Would love to
yeah,
have you there in Jamaica for a couple of years. But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not going to be possible. But we're going to
yeah,
utilize you while you're there because a lot of families lost everything, and
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot being donated, and there's going to be a great need for skilled work, people who know how to build, to rebuild, and also to reconstruct. So that will be a welcome gesture on your part to be down there to help out those who need it.
And before you say
Most.
that as well, I'm sorry to interject. I just want to say, I want to shout out because we got a hardware in the community, hardware, sorry, company in the community, the Ives. So I want him to know that, listen, when I come, he knows that he's going to have to, he will put aside things to go out and help out. So we want to big up the Ives, the hardware.
Yes, Martin Ives Hardware.
Yeah, they're doing a great
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, M&A Ives. Yeah, they have been doing a lot, especially back to school. They contribute to the community. It's a great community-based hardware for the community and the surrounding communities as well. He's been doing a marvelous job, and we say support M&A Ives Hardware in Sea Ear District in Manchester, and we're going to highlight them. I need him on the show.
Yes, you
Martin
should
Ives.
do it.
We're
Yeah,
gonna do a live with him because he's kind of shy, camera shy, but we're going to get him on. I think I have to go down there and then drag him around the back room and turn on the lights.
yeah, because when he give you all the bantering off camera, but when you see
Yeah,
him,
that's right. Yeah, that's right. But
yeah,
he's been doing a lot. He's been contributing a lot. I've heard that he's been helping a lot of people as well to get back
yeah,
on their feet, and that's a marvelous thing. And we can't emphasize how important his service is in the community, and we got to keep him propped up and push him up further so he gets bigger and bigger to help more and more. So it's great that you mentioned Martin Ives because I showed a couple of clips on him during the back to school in previous podcasts, and it was amazing to see that he took the initiative to do this along with other private sector and community members who are doing that, but he did it in a big way. Big up to Martin Ives. So DJ Ashley, I think you have some serious cereal tonight to help out the people and get back them vibes, you're gonna drop some serious dub plates. YouTube, Instagram, the whole Facebook, everybody's is kind of chopping us down because we copyright infringement. So the dub plates have no copyright on it. But
yeah.
Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, we do the Friday Fusion. It was live on when Ashley's on Passion on the radio, but we changed we're changing around how we do this because the copyright infringement is knocking us down. But DJ Ashley as a this is the new generation promoters, and he's also one of those people that builds careers. I was talking to Akabu, if you know Mama Valerie.
Yeah.
She did a harmony for your boy who you put on the map in the UK. What's his name?
Gappy Ranks.
Gappy Ranks. She did you see, that lady and myself are very close, great friends for many, many years. And you wouldn't believe, she said, if you just tell her Mama V, man.
Yeah.
Tell your neighbor, say Mama V.
I
And
met her once, you know. I met her once because she's actually did the harmony for Heaven in Your Eyes.
yes, that's right. So
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
giving me the history of it when there was a technical difficulty. So they're gonna come. The whole band is gonna come back because I know the whole band
yeah.
personally. You know what I mean? So over the years, so they'll be back, and I'd love to have you when they're on. But Ashley is a the new era producers. You know, he's been in the music. He knows it inside out. He's connected, and that's a beautiful thing. So Ashley, the stage is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, blessings, man. Because I remember back in the days when this song came out, and it was running the airwaves like big time. We talk about no other than G-Wiz, and doing that, his career went into a little bit of a blip. You know it goes when other artists rises and stuff. And
Right.
they reach out to me. I have John GQ from Farm's House. You know, his Alton brother, his brother that plays the part of the Bob Marley era as well. They do a lot of touring with Julian Marley. So he asked me to reach out, and I did a mixtape for G-Wiz, so you could find it on SoundCloud, which we uploaded on YouTube. But it's been a while, but this is what we call it, live mixtape.
You know, that's how they start. I don't know what they talk about on live mixtape. Ready? Alive. Asha, they are just like. Say Asha, they never give up. She wisdom, no way life so sad. So we know what we turn our lives so happy. No matter what them talk, no more cracky. Turn our stomach mind, cause Asha, they tell we say. We go all our heads, no matter what the chicken. Pull up your head, how is your life so sad. So we know what we turn our lives so. Say Asha, they say, wanna do it, just to make it better. Do your thing, your hustle in the west. Get your act together. Don't do no one up the party. Then get it better. Pick up like you in a jail, make you suffer. No greedy, go feel like you go turn up. No
so, so that was G-Wiz. So all the people like struggling and going through a hard time, just let them know that the life soon start out. It's by right I have to start with that dub plate.
Gosso. Remember, the stage is yours, man. I'm telling you, all the way from the UK.
All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of juggling then.
Yes.
This is Gappy Ranks, which we all talk about. Is an artist right now. He had a little minor strokes and stuff. He's not really singing at the moment, but these are the songs that did uplifting and stuff. I mean, I can hardly play a 45 from Gappy, really. You know what I mean? So this is it.
Big man selector name Ashadi, the born bad mind. You know why? Through all the troubles and tribulation, instead I give thanks and praise. You understand? I get ranks. Kick it off! Big selector. Ashadi! La 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 la! La 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 la! La 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 la! La 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 la! Ashadi sing la la la! La 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 la! Ashadi! All when you hear come with the rest. Ashadi, I give thanks and praise. All when you never have no food for the flesh. You never put a gun for the breast. All when you wicked, I come with the rest. Ashadi, I give thanks and praise. All when you never have no food for the flesh. You never put a gun for the breast. This you want me to, but Ashadi beat you. You kill a Trump and sound, people don't see you. Listen. Every sound got their eyes on you, Ashadi. Trying to figure out how you play. Yeah, I heard them say to you,
The talking tongue should be, and I've got to let you know, Ashadi, you are the center of attention. You know you got to mold your I guess it is the number one that tell you out how we say like that. I guess it is the time I come upon I tell you this is great, go out. I can't expect to get to be great. I took the way. Alright, so great. I know I can get out of it. I should be that we are all days. I tell you this and this truly I'm the same. Go out, so great. I know I should be so happy not to do that whole thing. I tell you alright, I tell you now. People are black, so what happened? And if the thing is right, because I should be next to them to have I shall not give no God when it gets stepped out this God. I shall exactly charge again. I should keep going for Rastafari rule. I should can't cool, can't quench. I shall the wife up on your fire. I shall even get dirty to fire and mud man fire. Can't cool, can't quench. I shall get my burning fire. The one that distracted them from the desire. Yes, yeah, you know, people jump there so that's a deal. Boy, what am I trying to breathe? Yeah, but you know this, you know. This is what's on the London, England. This is what's on the Bristol. It's a Birmingham. You know what? The people jump down. As a deal, you burn out all things back. Hey! Somebody done that. Far, far away. Them with the faith. Send them a graveyard to stay. Oh, right. You know it's just a day movement. I'm going to say a big thing. After this song, representing I'm coming with the night. And let your love be shared. Princess Run coming up with the night. For everyone to care. Run coming up with the night. And let your love be shared. Run coming up with the night. For everyone to care. Princess, don't worry, away from me. Yeah, you used to be good champion sound, and I said to myself, Asha Day, you don't know a champion for years without fear. I guess what's on I don't know what I miss players representing. But you want England, what is that? You know what looks like Asha Day? Let me tell you this. Some boy come around and try hype up themselves. What you doing, man? Let's get one done, then. This is before I'm back. This is before this time. Ashadi, you know what? Ashadi, you know why? I didn't know that. Ashadi, you know why? I didn't know that. You will have been from here, this Ashadi. You feel down at the rocket, speaking on the rocket. Alright, in the Ashadi. Alright, in the UK, London, Manchester. I tap and you say yes, a fire, press that. Alright, every day, I sound so young, but Ashadi. Yes, I'll fire, I say, I should be something you go with, like you every day. I pray, I said, I'm strong as I'm not so it doesn't so we go. I say, I should be self-lead away. I pray. I said the stuff when I lost that way. I don't find me at all. It's like a never listen. I tell some drum and sound step away. So when you notice, then when you notice where you're born, I should be said. Them go for them drum and sound and nothing else is on them behind. And also to a shame to show it's on the inside. Oh, be on control. Them surely I go lose them. Food out. Yes, I see I right control. You get up the detail. I should be guessing with her. Where can it came? I should be sound on her. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, yeah. Right now, this is a serious time, violence and crime, and I shall be up here. Oh, and you go kill them when you're in a park, and at the time not here. You kill them all the way from the shine. Oh, and you not see, I shall hear. Oh, where you getting love them from? Nobody know. You find out after love, and I give you. Oh, some boy down here. Stick up, Ashadi. See this down. Sit down, down. Ashadi. What in the world? Tonight, I saw you die, and that someone sure will cry. I should be so that you will see. You'll be sorry, believe it is. But tonight you just can't tell where you belong. I should be with you in the dark. Don't be a fool. Try to tell him you won't get a chance to even try. Don't bother, you're bound to die.
I think I know we all right. When I said it, I'm making the world I say. You just stand like I'm earthquake. Somewhere down the way, listen. This is what I do to see. I'm shining up on the mountain. Do what I say. This is what I do to see. I'm shining up on the mountain. I'm making them to say. This is what I do to see. I'm shining up on the mountain.
Then can I count your feet? I can't see. I still need the music passing. I can dig at the echo sound. You never play. Now I'm trying to find this. You leave my head, yeah. We can get this house tonight. Yeah. Keep it white and bright. I shall be is giving us some kind tonight. It's gonna be a terrible sight. Come on, everyone. Yes, witness the death is fine. We gonna feel that before we go forward. I should be in the hospital. I should be in such a don't tell you someone. It's been hard. You make a mistake. So no, we don't. Don't confident and someone. And when we come a dancer, we know the execute. Put where a song boy can carry the Jesus. Them and so we have them obey. A certain song boy ain't got no privilege. We know that that should be. What a I should be original selector. What a dream. It's easy to remember, but so hard to forget. But then I should be a song in the day. Yeah, yeah. I don't you remember them when I should go and go to make noise. There is so much that we run away and hide. Lord, Lord, because He's I said the other day, why, I said the other day, I don't find it, I said the other day, I don't find it, I said the other day, because I let my father, I don't know what to do. So the party, find me after the kill, they go to see me. You see me, lad, I'm not easy. You see me, lad, I'm not easy. Because people just play non-stop, but I want to know about money. I shot you on the take time from some boy, see? But I'm going back to the place of the dollar, right? Play on something like a game, I'm telling around for the comfort, but they come down. Then you want to go down. But I'm something that put up with them on their head. Jump on, and then you want to die. But I'm something that put up with them on their head. Love it. You know what I say? I know them not who them are wrong with them, When I can leave you a fire, hey, the boy you turn up, we can together. When you must be them a desire, who them are wrong with them, When I can leave you a fire, boom, the boy you turn up, we can together. When you must be them a desire, yo, the fire people like the fire start going up with him, so they get burned up and cross, hey. When the man and when the woman come and burn them as that. When the body define who them just get started. That's a deal that you can control it now. Don't be on anything. Ain't no cheating secret. Somebody, the master them dancing in the hills of Bahama. And you put them up in the yard and see what they. The master them dancing in the side of the where they got the joy in me. Somebody, the master them dancing in the hills of Bahama. And you put them up in the yard. Somebody, the master them dancing. I ain't no side of it. And when they got the joy in me, I'm a deal. Get them up here and they hear for it. Step up, free from why you're in. Look like I'm a man, I'm a weapon. Somebody crazy now, and it's over for a second. Man, but can't be sure after the teacher. The parasite of the eye, feel of the mission. If you want to tell, turn them to position. Hey, yo, get them down over there, them answer them down. Yeah. Oh, I shot you in a don't know. Holy than the champion in the dancer. Get recognize the number one in your sound. Hey, there's something in the dance like a faggot in the deep time. Oh Lord, you play them 1, 2, 3 dance. You got them going wild. So actually, I don't change your style. No, dreams that kill them, actually, freedom and no control. I know what they love you for. Actually, they love you for. Oh, yes, you've done it. Hey, I hear them talking, they wanna call me, step up in the one, take a party in the army. When I walk in a minute, like army, see them a move with the message of party. Yeah, listen to the like party, never came to the party in a party. Here's the artist, not trying party, take a party, keep on the party. You get off in a party, organize on a party, no one again. I shall be here to step in a party, to go up one party, no one again. I think you're ready after the cover. Keep on the after the summer rain. After the you know, we can give us a bit. So I decide I want all I love me. God, I should be, yeah. Ashadi. I call on Ashadi, Ashadi save me from all my trouble. Yeah, man, I said Ashadi, they go to seven and see us together and do what's the junior something. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Shows I'm holding this money in my hand. I shake a part of me, and I can feel it. Always feeling some joy, but never realizing I am loved. Yeah. And those who give us actually, yeah. I saw the truth.
Just drop it up, yeah. I love the bones. I said, yeah. What's enough? I want to feel. Can I know you well around? I said, you know you well around, yeah. I know you well around. I said, you know you well. I should be up at boys in the streets. Some are sleeping. Got no deal these days. Listen it up.
Listen, I'm gonna play this anthem. Listen, there's so much to play, but I got to play this anthem that Gaparank wrote for me, especially.
Goodness gracious me. Drop it. And we drop the explosion.
Listen to that one exclusive. That means I shall be alone can play. Listen to that one exclusive. That means I shall be alone can play. Listen to that one exclusive. That means I shall be alone can play. Answer. Kick it off on your brother. Ashadi. What the exclusive. When I hear about that sound from me, don't them every like piece of concrete. People fall when they tweet as queen. Everybody call out the name on the street. Ashadi, but some can't test. Ashadi, I don't even give us. You must see the best. Ashadi, well, I'll show you what you can get on. In a city, it's how we are come from. So you know, bring to me now. Let's say you're gonna be something that jump back. Show some police for me, I'm not that. Conchester, Bristol, and Nottingham.
Another exclusive. I tell you what, people have to find these two artists to put them together. So I gotta big up Bankilos on this one.
All right.
As a little youth, playing these two artists together. I think people even forgot about this song, how big it is. This is Beanie Man and Cargo.
Goodness gracious me. No, that one ever tear up.
I'm gonna play 2 more songs, and I think because I'm a young youth in the music, but you know what I mean, a lot of people gonna think that I usually play out and people gonna run up and actually be thinking, you know what, a young selector in have no tune. I surprised a lot of people. I played with RIP to Barry G. Remember when Barry G came to the UK? I've actually mixed Barry G. You understand? I played with Rory and Barry G on a show, a mix. I play for myself, and then Barry G to play after me. And I have to mix for Barry G from my box. And then Rory play after me. And Rory said, yo, you're bad. But you know what I mean? I play with Mr. Radigan at some point as well. But everybody has show and thinks, boy, we don't have much tune. But we can go deep in the box. So right beat to culture.
This one's a song to play by the champion sound Asha D. Okay, culture house alive. Warriors run the rhythm. This one is a song to play by the champion sound Asha D. Culture in the house alive. Warriors Asha D. What a leave on my
Wheel up that. Wheel up. Goodness gracious me, a big show.
Run the track, as who one DJ Asha D on
We're going to end this one because a lot of people talk about Valerie, and a lot of people know who's going to listen to your podcast and they'll realize the song that she harmonized on that make it to like worldwide. Right now is if you can't go to a dance in the UK, probably different continent, and if you play this song, you're gonna get loads of review on it. And I'll give you a quick synopsis of it. When I first met Gappy, you understand? He said to me, I'm gonna give you two big songs. I'm gonna give you Heaven in Your Eyes, and I'm gonna give you a song called Little Understanding. But he said to me, Asha, you're gonna be the second person I'm gonna cut this for, because I cut it for Radigan at the time. Yeah, Sir Radigan, David Radigan. But I can tell you now, that was a story at the time. Radigan wasn't playing the song. But after the song becomes big, this is it.
I'm here to Asha this song. Girl, them song, you know, man. Asha, yeah. Asha this song I play. It's Capra. Here we go. Asha this song I play. I feel Asha the calm down. She's from round the way. I see her every day. I love to see her smile. I love to see her smile. Asha the baby, to my surprise. She's a everything nice, everything nice, everything nice.
Goodness gracious me. What a vibe. You see that tune there? Remember me tell you. Heaven in Your Eyes. Remember me tell you, man. A big deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I tell you, Sister Valerie, you know, as we say, a whole heap of history, you know. Akabuban, you know. You understand? Colonel Brigadier from Naram, original Godfather. Remember me tell you, respect for that link up there, because years me I look for her. You understand? Because we were very close in the UK. You understand me? The whole Akabu band and Rough Cut band, so they're going to be on here because they're all my friends. You know what I mean? We work together over the years, and that connection they make again. And when she had tell me, say, Gappy wrong, so I say, then I'm going to nephew, put him on the map, man, and she had tell me all the history of that tune they go, and the harmonizing behind it, and who should link him with and all them thing. That may I tell you, a whole heap of, you understand me? History. Yeah. And to see you climb to those heights, my nephew, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? Because guess what? It's only better to come. And I know you got to get to work. So
Yeah, respect,
blessings,
respect.
you know,
It, it,
we'll
it,
keep in touch.
it's a
You know,
pleasure, man.
the stage is yours. I know you gotta give your closing, and then me know you're gonna drop one more tune before you.
Listen, there's so much tune to play, and to be honest with you, because the thing with it is I could play this segment of Gappy Ranks. I could have played this segment of Linen. I could have played this segment of Latin. I could have played this segment of Virgo. I could have played this segment of John Mason, Chuck Fender. You understand? There's a lot of segments I could have played with just artists alone who have worked with Ibamar. You know what I mean? I haven't touched some of the artists and stuff, so I kind of go a little bit deep, come back. There's a couple of tunes that comes to mind. So I have to big up Players as well, because when I met Players said, "You're too humble. I got to give you a song." Just like that.
Yeah.
You understand? Just like that.
Respect.
You know what I mean? Most of the songs that I've got, you know it goes already. It's not radio friendly because the artist then was in a vibes when they said they have to cut it. You know what I mean? So Luke,
you know, those segments are gonna do after midnight.
Yeah. So it's all respect and stuff. It's all respect and stuff, and that's why when we had the first link up, you asked me. You almost get to that stage, you know what I mean? But what happened? I had to take a break because everything was so overwhelming, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I was just pushing through and stuff like that. So it's crazy. And to give you an example what I'm talking about, and not of putting my hat where I can reach it. It is what it is. But I have to give thanks as well that I never had to buy a dub plate from Gappy Ranks. And at the moment, I can give you over 50 dub plates from Gappy. You understand?
Goodness gracious.
Very much to about 55, almost 60 dub plates from Gappy Ranks. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone else in the world can ever say that. But it's just that it's gratitude. But as I said, we have to go and appreciate the help. So I'm going to, I don't even know where to go, but let me just drop this one from my good brethren that he gave me a cappella. And this was, a lot of people had it with.
Before you go deep into there, DJ Ashley, my nephew, you have to remember the essence of this, we are reach out and build the people in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And that's where we come from, and I hold it for them and suffer. So why you drop something for the people them out west there and all across Jamaica where them can feel the vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say, listen, we're here for you and we're working. I go down there, the flight book already, and we have packed some little things, and we may not be able to help everybody, but we're gonna try to help who we can. You know what I mean? So that's how each one help one. You know what I mean? And we have a big up DJ Ashley in the UK right now, my little nephew. I do him thing, and I'm proud of him and love him. You know what I mean? So one love every time, so just continue the way I do and reach out. You know what I mean? Someone you drop something for close off the show, and we'll call it so until further on in the news. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
So big up DJ Ashley.
So give thanks. I just want to say, reach out to everyone right now going through a lot of hardships and time. Just go hold the faith. Just put God first. I know it's kind of hard to think, how could I do this? But at the end of the day, your life was spared, right? So since most of St. Elizabeth has been affected, so it's by right, we're going to drop one of St. Elizabeth's own artists. This is John Mason, a track called No Matter the Time.
Yeah, you know it's big good champion sound. After the free hold of England. You know what? Covering the whole of Europe. Mr. Bristol. Hear the voice loud and Bristol. London. Actually, you escape. Actually, you escape the system with the strategy you seek salvation. That's a remedy, you're not unkind. Hey, don't you make me fuck you, but you never get told. Never watch and never baby win. Never did this to see the best one. You're not feeling the pain and the struggle and the stress. Not the agony. Be yourself, you're not being a wannabe. Hey, God, the dignity.
As I did, I said, no matter the time, baby, never let the sun boy control them high. No, kill them one at a time. Hey, I'm sure that it's mine. To keep and care on us and if you be there for the elder, that if you be there for our we do not try to do me. Hey, what? Because you salute me.
Goodness gracious. Menevio, one
Respect.
love, blessed love, and we will continue next in the next segment.
Love and respect, and
Love her
thanks for
every
having
time.
you on the platform. You know, give thanks, love and blessings, and one love to everybody.
Wonderful, and the platform is yours, you know, anytime, every time. You know what I
Respect.
mean? One love, Menevio. Blessed
You know,
love. Ashadi out of England. And I'm telling you, he's going places and he's moving and shaking, ladies and gentlemen. I say, you got to make sure that you push those up who want to go higher, to higher heights. Bless his heart and our entire family and the entire family of Jamaica. It is hard times, and we gave you that segment to make sure that we can do something to build your spirits. It is tough times. Jamaican said it well. No matter the time. You know, so ladies and gentlemen, we're here for you. We'll see you in a few hours. Saturday Night Vibes, we're going to give you, we're going to continue down that segment of the relief efforts. And we say, just keep your faith in Jesus Christ. You know, keep it strong. We're here for you. And remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. That's the least you can do to keep this family-friendly show alive. And we say, share it. Like the show. Share the show. You can also donate to the show if you wish. You know, could be a coffee, sandwich. It doesn't matter. We're heading to Jamaica also. We're packing. Our flights are booked, and we're ready to go. You know what I mean? So we're packing. We gave ourselves enough time to pack the ship, and we're appealing to the government of Jamaica to increase the time of removing the tariffs on shipping stuff in. You know, 30 days is not enough. You know, if you want to donate to us, you can also do so. Look down below. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight you heard from Pastor Polson. He was on the ground giving relief to a lot of people. And we say to you that it is a kind gesture to go out there and help. We see Spice, Cartel, Beanie Man, you know, Shaggy, all the massive, you know, a lot of celebrities, Mbappe, Barbados, El Salvador, the U.S., England, all around. Some people complain that England only gave X amount. They didn't have to give anything. We say thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. And we say to you, we thank you, each and every one, for liking, sharing, and commenting on our show. God bless you all, and we'll see you in a few hours. Saturday Night Vibes. And we say thank you. Always pray when you're going out. Pray when you're coming in. And remember, God is in control. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you at the next show. Blessings. Naram Promotions is at you.